Hey, my name is Matt Johnson, and today I want to show you how to export 1080p HD videos for YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, or clients, etc. in the highest quality possible using Adobe Premiere Pro. And to save you time, I've actually created a set of free export presets that you can download at the link down below, which will give you all of these high quality HD export settings immediately without you needing to dial everything in manually. They even come with instructions showing you how to import them into Premiere Pro. So go download them for free at the link down below. Moving on, let's open up Premiere now. And as you can see, I already have a project created with a 1080p video clip that I have put on the timeline and edited. And let's pretend now that this is a full video that I want to export. Once you reach this point, you can either press Control-M on PC or Command-M on Mac, or you can go up here to this new fancy Export tab that Adobe added in the 2022 version of Premiere Pro. If you do not see this Export tab, that probably means that you're on an earlier version of Premiere Pro and your export setup will look different than how it looks here. But the good news is that I actually have another video that you can watch for exporting in the previous version of Premiere Pro, and I will link to that video in the corner and down in the video description if you want to watch it. With the export settings now open, here is where you may need to stop watching this video and watch my 4K export settings video instead. Because if you're going to be uploading your video to YouTube, Vimeo, or Facebook, or basically any other video sharing site, even if you have not filmed your video in 4K and you filmed it in 1080p, for example, I would still recommend upscaling your video to 4K when you export it, because YouTube and other streaming sites are going to use a significantly higher bitrate when playing your video back if it's in 4K, and the quality will be dramatically better than if you had uploaded it in HD. You don't have to do anything fancy to upscale your video. You can just edit your video on a 1080p timeline like you've probably already done, and then use my 4K export settings when exporting, and your video will then look its absolute best when uploading it to YouTube or any other streaming site. So I will link to that 4K export settings video up in the corner and down in the video description. All that said now, if you are creating a video for a client to use internally, or if you are making a video that does not need to be uploaded to one of these streaming sites, in that case, I would just export in 1080p HD, which is what the rest of this video is going to be all about. Moving on then, make sure that the blue toggle next to media file is enabled, and then on the right, you can name your video file. Let's call this HD Video Export. Sure, why not? Then click on location and you're going to want to choose where you want to save your video file to. This is very important because if you do not choose a location, then you're not going to know where your rendered video file is going to end up. So I would definitely make sure that you choose a place that you'll remember and be able to find. With that done, next you're going to want to click the preset dropdown and select the high quality 1080p HD preset. And then for format, instead of leaving it set to H.264, you're going to want to scroll down and select HEVC H.265 because this is the newest video format that's going to give you the highest video quality. At this point, you're probably thinking, this is great, Matt. Now I just go down here and hit export in the bottom right, and I'm good to go. No, because remember, I told you at the start of this video that I want to give you the best possible settings. And by default, Adobe's not going to give you the best. So this means that we need to dig into this video's settings by hitting this drop-down video menu here, and hold on to your beard. Things are going to get a bit complicated, but trust me, this is really important, and I'm going to walk you through all of it and make it easy. Starting off, for frame size, you're going to want to make sure that it is set to Full HD 1920 by 1080. Incidentally, if these settings boxes are grayed out and you're not able to select them, just uncheck the boxes, and then you're going to be able to change these settings. Next, for frame rate, make sure it's set to 23.976 and your aspect ratio is set to square pixels. And now we're going to hit the more button, which is going to give you a lot more settings. This is really important. Make sure that render at maximum depth and use maximum render quality are checked, which is going to help enhance the quality of your video file. And you definitely want the highest video quality because that's why you're watching this video. Next, under encoding settings, for performance, make sure that hardware encoding is selected. If it isn't available and your computer is only saying software encoding, that's okay. But if you select hardware encoding, that is going to make your exports dramatically faster because Premiere is going to be using your computer's graphics card. So I highly recommend having hardware encoding selected if it is available. Next, for profile, set it to main. There is an option for main 10, but unless you're exporting your video in HDR, which is a much more complicated workflow, 99.9% of people are just going to want to export using the main format, and you're going to be good. For level, leave it at 4.1, and for tier, you're going to want to hit this drop down and change it to high, which is going to unlock your bitrate and enable you to export in even higher quality. Lastly, for HDR graphics, white nits, make sure it's set to 100, and let's scroll down here to the bitrate settings. This is where things get really important because your bitrate is the biggest setting that will affect the quality of your video the most when you're exporting. If you want the highest possible video quality, for bitrate encoding, you're going to want to select CBR, which stands for constant bitrate, which means that Premiere Pro is always going to be exporting your video in the highest quality possible. Next, set your target bitrate to 24 megabits per second, and make sure that for quality, you select highest, slowest. Lastly, keep in mind that this is just the bitrate that I recommend if you are exporting at 24 frames per second. If you are exporting at a higher frame rate of 30 frames per second, then in that case, I would recommend exporting at a higher bitrate of 30 megabits per second. And for 60 FPS footage, I would export at 60 megabits per second. Basically, whatever your frame rate is, your bitrate should be the same as that number, and you are good. With that, those are all of the video settings. Next, go down here to the audio drop-down menu and make sure that for audio format, AAC is selected, audio codec AAC, sample rate 48,000 Hz, channel stereo, and bitrate 320 kilobits per second. These should already be selected by default, but it doesn't hurt to check. Congratulations, your video settings are all done and you are about ready to export your video. But if you want to save time and avoid having to dial in all these settings in the future every single time you export a video, you have two options. First, you can download my free presets that will give you all of the settings we just covered and enable you to use them as a preset every single time you export your video. These presets are available for free download at the link down below. Or you can actually create your own preset by saving all the settings we just put together as a preset of your own. To do that, go up here to the preset drop-down menu, and to the right, click these three dots and select Save Preset. And let's call this H.265, 1080p, 24 FPS, 25 Mbps, who is Matt, and press OK. Then, anytime you want to use these settings, you can go up here to the preset menu and select your H.265 1080p export preset, and voila! After that, to export your video, all you have to do is hit Send to Media Encoder or Export in the bottom right, and your video's done. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video all about how to export high-quality HD videos in Premiere Pro. Can I help you out even more though? I've put together a free guide called Edit Videos Like a Pro, and this guide is going to walk you through some of the biggest tips that I've learned as a video editor. These things took me years to learn, but you can use this guide to take a huge shortcut. You can download the guide completely for free at the link down below. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.